Welcome, everyone, to TJ and the Grumpy Old Man. I'm your host, TJ, and with me here, as always, is the Grumpy Old Man. They say there's no shame to his game because he's always the same.
That's me.
And with us here as well, we've got the king of comments, the magnificent Son X.
Next time, baby, let's get it.
It's X time, baby. Let's get it, he says.
Did you forget to pay the electricity bill, X?
No, obviously you can see there's lights on.
Did you forget to learn how to tell time, TJ?
No, I did.
He just always forgot. So he didn't forget.
Again, as you lazy slack asses are just sitting around waiting for me to create the show, prep all the work, and you just sit around, it's a lot easier for you to say you have zero time commitment before or after this podcast. We say play, action. You just show up, you read a few lines, and you leave and go home. I'm the director. There's so much I've got to get done, Grumpy, that you couldn't even.
Why do you set a specific time then?
That was the plan, Grump. But again, as a director, I wouldn't expect a simple actor.
Okay, that was the plan. That never happened.
As a director, things could sometimes go
astray. For the last 15 minutes, TJ's trying to get me to listen to some French song. I'm like, dude,
not 15 minutes. Please stop. That's ridiculous, Grump. Come on. But if you're new to the show, if you're new to the channel, welcome. This is an all sports podcast that takes place every single Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you're new to the channel and you like the content that we produce, there's a few things that I ask you to do. I ask you to subscribe on YouTube so you don't miss out on any of our future videos and to like the video, right? If you subscribe, that lets you know that, hey, anytime we go live, anytime that we go live, you'll get updates and notifications that we're live. And if you like the video, that also lets us know that, hey, you like the content that we produce, and also that it gets this content out to the masses, this video out to the masses. So make sure to do those two things. When I say we talk anything and everything sports, right, we're going to be talking about, we talked today right on the docket. We've got Copa America. We've got Euros. We've got some NFL news to talk about, some MLB news. Grumpy wants to hammer in some WNBA talk. So there's a lot to talk about on today's show. But I think there's no better spot to start with than, I guess we could say, maybe Euros, right, guys? I mean, you talk about a spectacular tournament. Except for maybe a few teams. I mean, the Euro competition has been very, very tight. How many games have been going to shootout left and right after extra time?
Too many.
It's because nobody wants to attack or score. Nobody wants to actually win. They'd rather just sit back and play for draws.
There's certain teams that have been fun to watch to me. Spain,
Turkey,
Netherlands, Germany. Those are the teams that, honestly, they've been the most fun to watch. And as tournaments, and Copa America is the same thing, when you're watching teams just lay back and not want to play, people want to know, well, why is soccer not as big as it can be in America? Well, because teams don't try to win.
Yep.
I mean, I know when I watch two teams that are just trying to play it to a 0-0 draw and go to shootouts, it's not entertaining. And I'm a fan. If you're not a fan, it's like, why am I watching this? There's nothing happening.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
also, why. I was going to say also some controversy with the new rule change in Copa America that I think definitely affected a team last night.
Well, we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that absolutely in a second. I want to definitely hammer home Euros first. But you're right. That absolutely hurts the product. There's no doubt about it. You've got teams, top tier teams, extremely talented teams like France who still haven't scored a goal from open play all tournament long, right?
They're in the semifinals.
5 games in. They have not scored a single goal that's not been either a penalty or a PK shootout or an own goal. I mean, so they haven't scored a goal from open play. And this is the second best team in the world. They're a spectacular team. They've got a lot of talent top to bottom. I don't think Didier Deschamps is a great manager. He's just
a moron.
not.
He's a moron.
Yeah, and that's the one thing you notice a lot about these national teams. Man, oh man, do they have some really shitty managers that that are the coaches there for those teams and clubs.
Gareth Southgate.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I think, I always say players win games, coaches lose them. In soccer, a coach can absolutely win a game just with strategy. And if a team, a lot of times, you see teams that are nowhere near as talented as their opponent. They just lay back and play defense, hope to get a lucky break and win a game 1-0. To me, that's not fun to watch. I mean, if it's an underdog against a heavy favorite, yeah, I'm probably rooting for the underdog. But from an aesthetic point of view, and I'm just talking about United States people, not around the world, it's really hard for Americans to sit around for 2 hours and watch no scoring and no chances, just passing the ball, turning over, passing it back. It's just and soccer is a game that for me is more like a chess match as opposed to just individual glory for the most part, where you have to work as a team more than any other sport, right? It's not like, oh, hey, 99-yard touchdown, and that just doesn't happen in soccer. Yeah. So it's just disappointing when you see opportunities to expand the U.S. audience and they just don't do it.
The teams that you would expect to play fun and exciting soccer that people love to watch, wide open soccer, they just don't. I mean, you've got certain managers that are in charge of these national teams that are horrendous. And like Didier Deschamps is one for France. Gareth Southgate is abysmal for England. If they don't win the championship, he should be fired. I don't give a shit if they lose in the finals and PKs again. He plays some of the style they have is some of the most boring football I have ever seen before in my life. Oh, look at the results. Look at the results. They haven't won a damn thing. And this is, again, another time period where they're entering a potential golden era for England football. If you do not win a major tournament, simple as that, see you later, Gareth Southgate. You know what? I'd rather us get knocked out the round before, but play fun and entertaining soccer. There's not a single person that's an England fan saying, oh, yeah, I feel confident if we play Spain, we win, or we play France right now, we win, or even Netherlands for that matter. I mean, you look at the cakewalk of a schedule that they've had.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, right? They're not playing, St. Mary's Sisters of the Poor this next week. They're going to be playing the Netherlands. Good luck.
Netherlands plays to win. Now, are they as talented as England? No, I don't think they are. But they play a much more pleasing style of game. To me, the games of the tournament so far have been Spain and Germany, Austria, Turkey, and Austria, Netherlands. Those games were back and forth, end to end, big chances, big saves, big opportunities. And then you watch a game like Portugal and France, where you got, the greatest player of all time in Cristiano Ronaldo and the heir apparent Kylian Mbappe. And that game was a slog. And that's all because the coaches, we'll just lay back, play defense. So you play 120 minutes of soccer and then go to penalties.
Yep.
It was a waste to watch. And you look at how certain teams are just run. It's like if a dope like me, I'm not, some soccer savant, but if I could see just watching Portugal, it's like the only time you generate anything is when you got guys running into the box and you make a pass up. They just wouldn't do it. The couple times they did, they had grade A chances, but otherwise they just real static, slow. You're just welcoming teams to play defense. It's just a shame. It's really a shame because soccer's a great sport. I mean, that's why I root for Real Madrid. Why they might win a game 4-3 or lose 4-3, but it's going to be entertaining from beginning to end.
Well, and that's the thing that also has to be taken into account, for Portugal and a lot of these teams. Same thing with France. You're not playing Ireland. You're not playing Iceland. You're not playing, the shitty teams in Europe. When you're playing in Euros, you're playing the best of the best. Euros is the toughest tournament to win. Again, this is not just me saying that. This is players who have done it, like Xavi, who's won himself a World Cup, also won himself a Euros. The most difficult tournament to win was Euros, more difficult than the World Cup. There's a reason for
that. Mbappe
said both.
Said the same exact thing.
Multiple
players in this World Cup.
Multiple players who have done both have said Euros is much more difficult to win than the World Cup.
Think about it. You're not playing Ghana or Panama
or Saudi Arabia,
Ecuador or Canada. You're not playing shitty teams like that. You're playing top franchise, top teams in the world, right? Yeah. You're playing even Switzerland, right? Austria. Germany, Spain, France, Netherlands, Portugal. I mean, these are dynamite teams, way better than the Copa America tournament we're seeing, which is just honestly, it's been a joke. That's the worst tournament I've ever seen.
The quarterfinals, the average rank of the Euro teams was 13th in the world. So they had so many out of the last 8 teams remaining in Euros. The average rank of their team was number 13 in the world. Holy shit. I mean, there's 8 teams. The average rank is 13. You have a lot of really stout top tier teams in the competition. And you look at the semifinals. You've got 8-7, 8-7, I think 4-2. You've got 4 teams, all 4 in the top 10 in the world.
Yep.
Made the final 4. And guess what? A lot of close games, Germany, right? Oh man, another game that it was an exciting, fun game to watch. Spain versus Germany. Spain has really impressed. Yamal has looked spectacular in this tournament. I thought Güler, another one of those young guys there for Turkey. Turkey's not a powerhouse of a team in any way, shape, or form, but he's looked spectacular as well. The Euros, certain managers want to play lay back. Hopefully we can force. It's almost like playing for those who listen to the Islanders Never Say Die podcast, it's almost like playing an Islander style of hockey. We're going to lay back, rely upon our defending. Hopefully we can catch a counter strike and a counter opportunity, and we can go ahead and put one in the back of the net. We're going to use our speed and ability to exploit that. But when you have 2 teams that are committed to playing Islanders slug it out style hockey, hard to watch match in and match out, if that makes sense.
It has to be entertaining. And I'm just talking about, all right, well, you're not worrying about converting guys like us because we enjoy soccer, but you're just just like Joe Q Public. It's not pleasant to the normal American fan. They like scoring. They like excitement. Just laying back and playing defense. It's just not feasible. It's just not feasible. And that's why soccer will never be anything more than basically a niche sport in this country.
Now, this is something I did want to go ahead and throw up here because, Cristiano Ronaldo, he did not score for his first time ever in his career in a major international competition. Now,
can I just do one thing about that? He just could have had a tap-in goal and he passed it off to
Bruno Fernandes,
a teammate, to dump into the net. So he easily could have scored in this tournament, but you're correct, he did not.
He didn't. So first time. Now, the thing worth mentioning, Cristiano's 39 years old. It's like, oh man, Tom Brady, why weren't you throwing the ball for 5,000 yards your last year?
Well, he was
in the NFL. Not his last year, he wasn't. But again, 39 years old. For soccer, right? A lot more on the physical attributes. Just at least worth putting this up for all the Cristiano haters out there, and there's plenty of them. I know the Monroe brothers are like this, but I thought this was funny. From 1930 to 2002,
72 years, a
72-year time period before Cristiano ever joined the international team for Portugal, they only qualified for Euros 3 out of the 11 opportunities. They only had 3 World Cup qualifications out of 17 opportunities, with 0 major trophies won. In the 20 years under Cristiano, right? And now you can add an updated Euros qualification, right? But 6 for 6 in Euros qualifications, 5 for 5 in World Cup qualifications, in 2 major trophies. It's not by accident that happens, right? It happens because you're the best in the world. You're the best that's ever played. And you played for a nationality and a team that historically, you've had, an outlier, a good player here or there, but historically, Portugal has not been a powerhouse of a nation for soccer and football. And here's the thing. Cristiano very easily, like other big players, could have picked another nation to represent if he wanted to, but he wanted to represent Portugal.
Well, I don't know. Aren't both of his parents from Portugal?
But yet you could pick, if you have a nationality, if you live somewhere else, you could go ahead and pick the nationality you live for.
But he always lived in Portugal.
Yeah, but he's always lived in Portugal. So I mean, he was a Portugal. But to me, his biggest impact on Portugal is, you're right. They did have talent like Luis Figo and Sabio,
Deco. Yeah, exactly.
Right, who are great players in their time. But now you're seeing Portugal has a loaded roster now, and that's all because of the Cristiano Ronaldo.
Those players suck.
But when you have someone who transcends the sport, it's like everyone's like, oh man, he's doing that. I want to do that too. So it raises the level of talent that plays soccer, and the competition and the drive to be successful. And you're seeing that here. And that's my one caveat to have something in the United States where it's super successful. If there was like a tremendous athlete, like a Tom Brady or a Michael Jordan type who winds up playing for the U.S. men's soccer team, you could see the growth of soccer take off exponentially. Because what do most athletes, male athletes, they gravitate towards? Football and basketball and baseball, right? That's what they gravitate towards, not soccer. Hockey, I'd say even higher than soccer. So it's like way down there. But if you have somebody who's like just transcends, like a Jordan or a Brady, that brings, like right now we have Christian Pulisic. All right, Christian Pulisic's a nice player, but there's nothing special about Christian Pulisic. So what you see is there's nobody to rally behind. And as much as they try to push it on television, it's just not interesting. We don't have that guy.
Well, that's worth mentioning, right? Since our last podcast, the United States was having to play Uruguay in order to potentially make their way into the knockout stages there for Copa America. Now, Copa America is an absolute joke of a tournament. It is. It's a friends and families league. That being said,
they won't even play extra time in that fucking tournament. Think about that.
The pitch is on the smallest pitch allowed.
13-year-old size field, by the way.
For footballing regulations, yes. So it's 6 meters. It's 6 meters less in width and 4 meters less in length. It's a smaller pitch. They try to do anything they can to, I don't know, help out. The golden boy who can't run anymore.
Well, I look at it this way. Sorry to interrupt. I look at it this way. When you have a field that's condensed, remember, these players don't play on tiny fields like this. They play, if they're any good, they play in Europe.
Yes.
That's where they play. That's what the best.
They play on a normal standard size pitch. All of them play ubiquitous. It's not like in the Premier League, you're going to have one pitch that's smaller than the other. They're all the same regulation size.
So what do you see happen in these Copa America games? You see the older players are able to keep up a little bit better than they would if the field is bigger, because you don't have to cover as much ground. And the physicality is ramped up big time. And I mean, you're seeing some really physical action, and the referees have been disgraceful. I mean, there's so many fouls that are not carded. They're not handing out yellow cards. They're not handing red cards. Players will go as far as you let them go. And you look at these officials, they're in way over their heads, just way over their heads.
It's all to help certain players and certain nationalities and certain teams out. It's that simple. You look at the amazing rule changes that have never been invoked ever, and I mean ever in the history of Copa America, playing on the smallest size pitch that they've ever played on in the tournament's history. And for the first time in the history of the tournament, when action ends after 90 minutes, they go right to a PK. Like we're playing a friendlies match.
Not to mention that the host country doesn't get the first game and the easier side of the bracket as well. You forgot to put that in there.
Yeah, well, of course, yes. This is in U.S., right? And here, because the way this works for international tournaments and any sort of game where there must be a result of a win or a loss, like Champions League, every single notable tournament, anything they have, it's always you play 90 minutes, and if it's still a draw, you play 2 different 15-minute additional halves of extra time. So 15 minutes on one side of the pitch, 15 minutes on the other side of the pitch, so 30 minutes total. And at the end of that time period, if it's still a draw, then you go to PKs. But no, this tournament just decided for the first time ever in the history of Copa America, after 90 minutes, we're just going to go straight to PKs. That is the
How'd that work out for Brazil when Uruguay was down a man at the end of the game? I think that extra 30 minutes could have assisted them in scoring a goal, right?
Yeah, well, it's the same exact way that they do friendlies. That's how friendlies is done. If you have a tie at the end of 90 minutes, you go to PKs.
You know what I'm saying? If somebody's on a one-on-one run at the end of the game, I'm fucking taking them out. I'm taking them out. If it's at the end of the game. What the fuck does it matter? It's going to pens anyway. Last 10 minutes, I'm taking them out.
Yeah.
Down a man for 10 minutes. It's not 40 minutes. It's only 10.
I just want to just hit back. See, I look at it a little bit. I mean, I don't hate certain teams or players or anything like that, but I can see the inequity in certain things. I look at just how to grow the sport in America. And if you see, because Fox Sports is the one who's been covering both of these tournaments, and who are the players that they're pushing in their logos? It's Messi is number one front and center. He's finished as a player, by the way. Just to let you know, he's absolutely done as a player.
Another guy
and
in
then you have
tournament who's not scored a goal yet. Go ahead.
Right. Then you have Mbappe on one side, and who's the guy on the other side? I don't even remember. Ronaldo, and then in the corner is Pulisic. It's like, if you're trying to promote American soccer, you must highlight American players, because it's not about the 37-year-old Messis or the 39-year-old Ronaldos. It's about the players who play in America those are the players who are going to be seen by Americans in between these major tournaments. And I just think they're doing a bad job. But the problem is the talent is just not that good. It just isn't.
That's where you're wrong. Greg Berhalter absolutely has to be canned. He should be. I mean, he should have been canned the day after they didn't qualify to make it to a knockout stage round. Every single game was on home field, home turf, U.S.
That's the one last thing I wanted to. I'm just while I remember, TJ, please. Usually, when you're the home team in the tournament, which the United States is, you're in Group A. You have the first game of the tournament. Always, you get the benefit of the extra days off here and there. But what did this tournament do? Argentina is treated as the home team. And I don't understand that. I realize they want to push Messi or whatever, or Argentina, but still, you're the home team. Every single tournament, the home team gets the opening match everywhere. And they're Group A, always.
The entire tournament was set up to help Messi succeed. Play on a smaller pitch. Does that help the young American team who has a lot of speedy forwards up top and speedy midfielders? Does that help a team with speed having a smaller condensed field? No, it doesn't. Does it help maybe for a guy, for a team, again, with young players who can play 90 minutes plus 30 of extra time if they need to? Does that help younger teams, or does that help a team or a certain player who's 37 years old that doesn't have to play any extra time? Who's already battling an injury? I'm telling you, it's clearly designed to try to help Messi out. When you look at the way that the lineup was created for A and B, right? Usually, and Copa America always does theirs like this, where they just say A plays B and C plays D. Whoever wins, that's how they do it. So it's like Eastern Conference, Western Conference. Yes. So the way that for those who listen to hockey and watch the hockey podcast, imagine they handpick who's in the Eastern Conference and who's in the Western Conference before the actual tournament begins. In
every other tournament, what you have is if you are not able to play a team in your group until the finals.
So yes, like Euros, World Cup, the way to design it is whoever is the number one team in Group A. Yes, Champions League. Whoever's the number one team in Group A plays the number two team in Group D. They mix and match it to where it's a complete randomness about it, so it cannot be predetermined.
With rules against who, like I said, for these tournaments you have to lay it out a certain way. But they take, you got two sides of the bracket, and They switch brackets, in essence, is what they do. They don't stay in the same bracket, where they don't match up against the team who's in their group stage until the finals.
Yes.
And that's the way it should be. Who wants to see a rematch in the semifinals of Argentina-Canada, which was the first game of the tournament?
Yes.
I mean,
like Argentina fans.
But I don't think
because it's an easier side of the bracket.
I don't think they're in it to say we want Messi to win.
I do.
I think
how not?
I think what they want to Messi's the biggest name in North American soccer right now. He just is.
They want him to win.
They want to push him. Where I'm saying you should want to push the American players. Build stars from America. Don't rely on 37-year-old cast players who play in MLS. It's just not a recipe to have long-term success. It just isn't.
They don't care about long-term success. They care about now.
I don't disagree with you, Grump. I do think that I do think, right, they should push more the American players and try to push for the American team to perform better. The way this was set up, you had on one side think about this, you had on one side of the bracket, you had USA, who I know they didn't make it past the knockout stage, but they're a pretty formidable opponent. You have USA, Colombia, who hasn't lost the game in what, like 27, 28 matches.
28, yeah.
They're playing really great football right now. Uruguay, who is spectacular as well. Brazil, all on one side of the bracket. Those are 4 of the top 6 teams that I'd say maybe 4 of the top 5 teams in this tournament. And Argentina says, oh, you're playing Venezuela or you're playing Ecuador. And then you're playing
Argentina
Canada.
Does not play a team that's ranked above 30 or below 30 until they hit the finals. They don't play a team that's ranked below 30.
It's like playing Liechtenstein and Iceland and every other team out there. It'd be like if Euros you're playing, you have a route where you're playing Iceland and then you play Ireland.
I think they want to keep. I'm not saying they want Messi to win and Argentina to win, but they want to keep them in the tournament as long as possible because they think that fans want to watch that. Myself, I've had absolutely no interest in that side of the draw, where I think the other side has been good for the most part. As good as Copa America can be. Uruguay is really good. Yeah. Brazil, I think Brazil's had a problem. They don't have a finisher. And Colombia has been a real surprise for me. They've been. I
think Brazil could have benefited with the extra 30 minutes of extra time.
Maybe
when the other team's down.
Wider pitch again, like that is huge. I think that all of these things, if you looked at one isolated, I'd say, well, maybe maybe you're trying to grasp at straws. All of these things in culmination absolutely has me believing that they're trying to do anything they can to help Lionel Messi out and hopefully getting eyeballs. They want the Messi effect. Oh, we have him here in the MLS. So great. We're going to get extra viewership because look how much the Apple TV and the MLS viewership's gone up since he's joined. Now that we've got him here playing in the United States, we want him to win so we can capitalize on that marketing opportunity. That's what they want.
Just to tell you, they're not selling tickets to all these games.
Nope.
Just not. The semifinals, which are in Charlotte, have not sold out.
Think about that.
And it's like, okay.
Could you imagine a semifinals Euros game not selling out?
Everything is sold out in Germany. Everything. I mean, Euros is just a better tournament, right? Yeah. Copa America to me
Copa America is so good that they have to end the games early. Think about that. That's how good it is because nobody fucking wants to watch that shit.
Well,
that's why they don't go. That's why they don't play extra time.
Yeah, I don't know if that's.
They said, "Oh shit, we're paying these refs by the hour." Well, there's not enough fans in the stands for us to pay them the extra money, so let's just cut off the extra time and go straight to penalty.
I think it's safe to say that the refereeing in the Copa America tournament
has been horrible.
Has been really, really, really bad. Not good.
It's bad. Yeah, it's a shame. Copa America has been a waste. I don't know anybody who's been interested in that. And as soon as America got knocked out, like I told you last Sunday, Berhalter should have been canned. Now, this is an interesting thing. People are bringing up Jurgen Klopp. They're trying to link Jurgen Klopp here to the United States there, U.S. soccer. What is the likelihood, do you think, Jurgen Klopp, who just stepped away from Liverpool, may take an opportunity to coach now U.S. soccer? Now, here's the thing. We've had ex-German coaches in the past, German players in the past.
Had Argentinian coaches, too.
Jurgen Klinsmann.
Yep, Jurgen Klinsmann, that's who I'm referring to. Yep, just recently. And it's like, could we see maybe Klopp step in as the coach there for Team USA?
I think Jurgen. What do you think on that, X?
No. Fuck no. Why would he want to come to a loser?
Ching-ching! Cha-ching! Cha-ching! Yeah. We're willing to pay you big money, Jurgen Klopp. Please come here and be our coach. How much was he making on Liverpool? Whatever you were making, times that by 200%. They have the dollars. Overpay this man and get yourself a real fucking manager. This is your chance to make an impact on the sport here in this country. Do not cheat this out. Do not freaking take shortcuts. Do anything you can to make sure that you have a positive result come the World Cups of 2026. Anything but that is a huge lost opportunity for this team. The furthest we've ever gone in the World Cup was in 1994 when it was on U.S. soil. You need to have another one of those type of performances again to where people actually believe that this team and that there's a bright future for soccer. Simple as that.
The United States doesn't play a competitive, and what I mean like a tournament soccer game, again until World Cup 2026. Because they're guaranteed of a spot, just like Canada is and Mexico is, because they're hosting.
Maybe they should just allow Argentina to be the home country in that one too. Just let them play the fucking opener.
Well, it'll be interesting to see who's in the A bracket. I bet you it will not be Argentina.
Oh, it should be though, right?
Well, I'm just saying,
rules go with this.
A rinky-dink tournament like Copa America, they can manipulate the rules.
They can play. They can play it 3 times within 5 years. You know, they can do whatever the fuck they want. So
you're running them over, Max.
It was every 4 years, and then they cut it down to every 2 years. Just, you know, I know why they're doing it.
It's rife with corruption.
Yes, without a doubt. And again, though, Jurgen Klopp, my thing, I agree with you, TJ. It's like the only way he comes over here is if he wants a cash in. Because I think, as anyone who's listening to this show knows, I feel that he's certainly one of the top 3 coaches in the world. I think he's phenomenal. I think he's really, really good. Hey, doesn't TJ look stoned, X?
Absolutely. Do we want to get some comments?
Yeah, sure. But to me, the problem is the lack of talent of the American team. I don't care who the coach is. They're not talented enough. They're just not good enough. Yeah. There's not one player on the national team that you could say, man, he's the best player on his club team. Not one.
Nope.
This is a better U.S. team than we've seen in years.
They're still not very good.
You have
got eliminated in group stage.
Where has Berhalter ever coached before and managed before?
St. Mary's Sisters of the Poor. It doesn't matter. They're not good enough.
Cheaping out as to who the manager is does not help. We've just discussed that a good manager can win you a game of football.
But they're not good enough. The American team isn't going to be a layback team.
Okay, you're just wrong. You keep saying that you're just wrong. We went over this last time, and again, you're just continuing to purport that lie. We have more players playing in European football than we've had in.
But they're no good.
Okay,
one of them is the best.
They start for all their European teams. We have guys who, guess what? They didn't add a whole bunch of European teams now, but you know what they did? We're seeing now where more U.S. men's players are playing in Europe and starting for their clubs than we've had before in the past. I don't care if they're the star of their player. Doesn't matter. Even if you're an average player, we didn't even have that before. Now you have guys, the majority of the players on the pitch are all starting for their European clubs. But let's not worry about that. Let's not think about that. It is a bad team.
I'm going to go this far and say, but you want to see, if you want to compare yourself with the big boys, not one of those players is probably even top 4 on their club team. I'm going to even go as far as say that.
It's not
name one U.S. player who's top 4 on a club team.
Balogun. He's top 4 in Monaco.
Who the hell is Balogun? I don't even know who he is.
You don't watch any soccer. So you don't fucking outside of EPL. Monaco.
They're a shitty. The Farmers. What do they call the French league?
Farmers League.
The Farmers League. Where's Monaco ranked in the Farmers League?
Just asked me to tell you, and I told you.
Okay,
that's simple.
Nowhere. They
That's
suck. Ever since Mbappe left, they just blow. They haven't qualified for Champions League ever since then. They're just
Monaco finished second in the fucking league. Please stop talking. You don't watch any football outside of EPL in La Liga. He's second in the league. They finished second in the league. Monaco.
Okay. Here's the thing. If I haven't even heard of this guy, he ain't that good.
You don't watch any soccer outside of EPL.
You watch French soccer? Are you trying to tell me you watch French soccer?
I watch all soccer. I watch German soccer too, and I watch Italian soccer. You're wrong.
Okay, let's get some comments. Come on.
It's only available on BN Sports, and your little rabbit ears don't pick that up.
Keep bitching about things.
Your little rabbit ears don't pick that
up. Left us hanging, says Freedom Fund Adventure. No, Drew Grumpy says,
hello, I'll be in class during this podcast, so I'll just drop this in. Broncos country, let's effing dominate.
There it is. Right. He's just a great director with time. That's right. I am. Thank you there, Drew.
Said no one ever.
Adventure.
I have a feeling the director / dictator was stuffing his face.
Not true. Not true.
It is true.
TJ finally listens to music, and it's damn a French song. There it is. Goon Goon Grump.
Son X, would you be willing to be Phil Fax's friend if he asked you?
Sure. Yep.
X doesn't ever. I mean X.
Freedom Front Event says, Grumpy, settle this debate between me, my girlfriend, and I. Could TJ win a fight with Mark Zuckerberg? A physical fight? Absolutely. Could Sunex win a fight with Miley Cyrus?
No.
I think he could. And could either beat Taylor Swift?
No, Taylor Swift would hire her goons to beat us
I
up.
would pick either one of my boys to beat any of those women, and I'm including
I'm
Mark Zuckerberg.
I'm not sure X beat Zuckerberg.
She would hit us with a jet.
I'm not sure. Do you think X could beat Zuckerberg? That's the real question.
I'd break a keyboard over his head.
I'm including Mark Zuckerberg in the woman category.
Whoa.
But we all know TJ could not beat Ronda Rousey.
That's very true.
He was, Zuckerberg, the reason I put this back up, he's training for a UFC fight against Elon Musk. I'm not sure.
Stop. Just stop. Full stop. He's a pussy ass bitch. Stop.
What's
Just
X?
stop.
What's X then? If he's a pussy ass bitch, what's X thing?
That's you know what they call Mark Zuckerberg on X's thing. He's just a tomato can. Just a little warm-up fight for X.
Tomato can. Can of corn.
Tomato can.
Frankie
What do you guys think
says,
about Ben Rice? He is a stud. Let's talk about Ben Rice here. First baseman there for the Yanks. He goes ahead, had an explosive game there against the Red Sox. What, he hit 3 homers?
I'm going to say that's his career game right there.
Yes, he peaked. Nothing else is going to be that. And let's take a look here.
2-2. A swing and a drive out to right field. That is well struck deep and gone. Rice with his second home run of the season. And puts the Yankees in front 1-0.
In a Yankees bullpen that had been throwing the ball great.
High deep drive right field. He crushed this baby. Way back and gone. 3-run homer for Rice. His second blast of the day.
Well, that comeback's going to be a little tougher now.
Look at that Yankee. Look at the Yankee sitting on top of the dugout.
I'm going to go soft.
Man, Yankees suck.
Drives
He
another
killed
one.
that one.
He sucks this to right field. That is gone. Ben Rice for the 3rd time today. A 3-run shot.
This is as the Yankees are coming off losing 15 of the last 20.
Ooh, not good. Simple as that. Now, the thing I did like, they're asking. He had like a curtain call. This I found kind of funny. It's kind of, I enjoyed it. It was a humanizing moment.
He doesn't know where to go. Show him the way.
You know what? I remember when fans would, give you a curtain call if you had a home run to win a World Series. Now it's like, okay, I had a good game in the middle of the regular season, the dog days, and that's good enough for a curtain call. Come on. It should be for big moments that mean something.
3 homers? Come on, Grumpy. Come on, man. Don't do that.
No.
What?
No.
Oh, come on.
Flat out no. JP,
Hold on. I didn't know if we wanted to use this as a segue to talk a little baseball before we start jumping back in the comments. This is something that Grumpy sent me that he wanted to talk about. This is Ohtani turns 30 today. This is before age 30 of Ryan Howard. This is something you wanted to discuss here, Grumpy. I'll put this up and let you run with it.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the numbers here, and TJ and X keep on trying to say how Shohei Ohtani is the greatest baseball player of all time. He wasn't even as good as Ryan Howard.
Do you mind me asking a question real quick? I'm just gonna ask one question. How many strikeouts does Ryan Howard have?
Who gives a
0.
shit?
How many innings pitched does Ryan Howard have?
0.
Doesn't matter. Shohei Ohtani's not pitching either.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
He's
Shohei Ohtani has pitched.
I'm just saying. Look at
Shohei
the
Ohtani has pitched. Ryan Howard has.
Just look at the numbers. Just look at the numbers.
Here's
If you're only comparing batting stats, compare pitching stats.
Whose numbers are
Let's
better?
see who's pitched better.
Whose numbers are better?
The guy who can pitch also.
Ohtani's numbers are better. Ohtani's numbers are better.
No, you're wrong. You
having 103 stolen bases compared to 10 is a huge.
That's it.
difference.
That's it. That's the only category. Every other category, and he's done it in more games,
Strikeouts,
more plate
innings
appearances.
pitched, ERA.
You see how they have
that
something
also
called
counts.
WAR? That means wins above replacement.
That means
because it
nothing.
also takes
That means nothing. It's a made-up stat. It's a made-up bullshit.
It's because it goes against Grumpy's narrative. That's why it's made up
It means
bullshit.
nothing. It means
Okay,
absolutely nothing.
here's the thing I need you to focus on. You see where it says MVPs 2 compared to 1 for Ryan Howard? Here's the other thing.
Well, you
Ryan
know what?
Howard,
It's just
if
what
you-
I keep on telling you. It's what I keep
Let
on
me
telling you. You want to
finish.
bring up that shit? It's because we glorify oh my God, he's the new greatest, best thing. Just give him an award. It's a participation trophy.
He pitches as well. He pitches as well.
Participation
Here's the thing. Ryan Howard, if he wasn't such a fat slob, would have maybe been a Hall of Famer. If he didn't have those back injuries and he wasn't such a fat slob, he would have been a much better player because he was a damn dynamite player. Ryan Howard used to be unbelievable, but that fat bastard couldn't prioritize his health. And guess what? Shohei Ohtani's not pushing 3 bills. And like, again, it's the same thing.
He was never that big. He was never that big.
How big do you think Ryan Howard was at his peak?
He wasn't 300 pounds. Shohei Ohtani weighs 240.
Shohei Ohtani's built. This guy's a fat bastard.
No, he was not.
Yes,
Ryan Howard was not a fat guy. You're wrong.
At the end, he absolutely was obese. You kidding me? Come on,
You're
Grump.
wrong. You're just wrong.
You're
the
wrong.
injuries ended his career without a
He
doubt.
was 275 pounds.
He was 3 bills. Thank you very much. I don't need you can look at a guy and I can see his frame and tell you he's 300 pounds. Being a guy who's been 280 to 300 pounds before, you can look at a guy and say,
you've been over 300 pounds. Who the hell?
Sure, and I can tell by looking at him he's over 300 pounds. I was a big bastard. Look at this. If you're telling me this isn't 300 pounds, you're fucking lying. Hold on.
All I'm saying is the numbers through age 30 season, Ryan Howard is a better player than Shohei Ohtani.
Maybe he found the hot dogs too much.
He never pitched. He never
He didn't have to. He was such a
more how this guy's not 300 fucking pounds. Tell me more how this guy ain't 300 pounds. Please stop.
He was not 300 pounds.
He's got about 300 hot dogs in his gut.
He was wearing a bulletproof vest from guys like TJ who wanted to assassinate him because he heard Shohei Ohtani was a better player, so he had to wear.
Dude, I'm looking at all these pictures.
Black jacket under his uniform.
Here's the thing: if he would have prioritized his health, now again, when I'm going to say this, it's obviously with a lot of he's much healthier than Prince Fielder, but another guy was Prince Fielder. If he could have prioritized his health and not been morbidly obese, the injuries wouldn't have caught up with him, and he would have been much more
Pablo Sandoval is another one. He was fat.
Sure. There's some player.
David Ortiz towards the end of his career was fat.
All of these players, if you don't prioritize your health, you're a professional athlete. That is your job, is to stay healthy, to stay competitive, and to be at the top of your game. That fat bastard hurt himself he could have been a Hall of Famer if he wouldn't have ate himself out of the league. That simple.
Who had better offensive numbers by the age of 30? Who had better numbers?
Who had better pitching?
I think they're equal.
By the age of 30.
No, Ryan Howard.
106 stolen bases to 10, I think, should add to.
Look at every other stat. That's the only one you have.
They were tied for batting average. He was like 20 home runs behind. Like
less plate appearances and less games played.
When did Ohtani? Okay, good.
I'm just saying he had better.
Also, wasn't this during the time period where you could use steroids?
The bold numbers.
Wasn't this during the steroid era?
This was during the steroid era.
Steroid era. This is not the steroid era. You're wrong.
Early 2000s was definitely steroid era.
The 90s.
Absolutely
the 90s.
up
the 90s was the steroid era.
When was our boy? When was your boy?
You're trying to tell me he looks like
when
he's
did Barry Bonds play? When did Barry Bonds play?
When did Alex Rodriguez get caught with the gummies?
When did Barry Bonds play?
Okay, you're wrong. If you just put the numbers up again, the bolded numbers are the ones who had the greater ones. It was Ryan Howard.
When was Barry Bonds having played appearances?
I just stick with facts.
You mind me asking?
Facts.
You mind me asking where Barry Bonds played when he was on the gear?
Here it is. Not that. Scroll. There you go. He's got more games, more plate appearances, more hits. Well, he had, I think that Ryan Howard.
I mean, his on-base percentage is higher by 0.06. By 0.06.
Batting average the same. More stolen bases. Everything else is in Ryan Howard's favor. Everything else.
It's not by much.
But if he played the same,
and you have to think about it too. The other guys,
if he played the same amount of games, the same amount of plate appearances, his numbers would be even greater. Is my.
How do you know that?
Because
it sounds like he couldn't stay healthy. It sounds to me like he couldn't stay healthy, right? The best ability is availability. Sounds like he couldn't stay out there on the field, which is why he didn't have the same amount.
After the age of 30,
maybe
after the age
of, my God, go ahead.
After the age of 30, Ryan Howard never had a batting average over 270. Shohei Ohtani's never had a batting average, I believe, under 270, right?
I have no idea, but here's the thing. His batting average couldn't be too high if his career average is 279. I'm going to say he's absolutely had more years with a batting average under 270.
I'll pull it up.
You don't hit 279 where you have a 300 season and just say, oh, well, it all evens out.
He did have 190 in a 44 game stretch during the
190.
COVID time period.
Whoop.
44 games. He did hit 257 one year when he was in 2021. He hit 257, but every other year he's been over 270. 285, 286, 190, 257, 273, 304, and then 316. He's hitting 316 this year, tied for lead in the MLB in home runs. And you're
season's not over. Season's not over. So
his numbers look just as good as Aaron Judge, Hall of Famer. I don't know why you're trying to, here's the thing. Aaron Judge is not going to eat himself out of the league like that fat bastard Ryan Howard did.
That's true.
Ryan Howard got hurt. He didn't eat his way out of the league. He got hurt.
He had a back injury because of his fat fucking.
No, it's not true. It's just not true. You just say it. He was
shooting gear. He thought he was shooting gear into his ass, but he was too fat, and he's actually shooting into his back.
TJ just saying things really loud. My God, you sound like a political candidate. Just saying it loud does not make it true.
Grump, here's my thing. He absolutely played during the steroid era, and you can't say that he didn't. He played the same time period when Barry Bonds was playing. He absolutely did when Barry Bonds was on
steroids. He was not on steroids.
Please stop. Please stop.
He was not on steroids.
Before the age of 30, that was from 2004 to 2010. So he was absolutely playing the time period the same time when
Barry Bonds was playing, when he was on fucking steroids.
A-Rod got caught with the gummies, all that
Barry
shit.
Bonds has been retired since when?
Kurt Schilling, or not Kurt Schilling.
It was the 90s. The steroid era was the 90s.
Roger Clemens. Roger Clemens was using the shit too.
This is you're talking about in the 90s.
No, you're wrong. You're wrong. They were caught using the shit in the 2000s.
He tore his Achilles. That was the big one, was the Achilles.
There you go. Torn Achilles.
You want to know why he tore it? Because he's a fat bastard, put too much weight on.
Because he had Crisco surrounding that motherfucker.
This is why it's so difficult having a conversation with morons.
Oh, my God.
And I got one over my left shoulder, one on my right. They're just stupid.
Here's the thing. One guy pitches, the other one doesn't.
Here's another thing. His offensive numbers weren't as good. That's all I'm saying.
Let's wait, okay?
Babe Ruth,
Has Ohtani ever won a Cy Young? Has Ohtani ever won a Cy Young?
340. Is Shohei Ohtani even going to smell that?
Has Ohtani ever won a Cy Young?
He's never even hit 340 once.
Has Ryan Howard ever won a Cy Young?
No, he's won MVP.
Okay,
though.
So he's never
without
Ohtani's won more MVPs.
The media darling.
Hold on, did you say Ryan Howard hit 340?
No, I said Babe Ruth, the guy you often compare Shohei Ohtani.
Yeah, they're playing.
Well, yeah, he also played during. Yeah, if he would have seen a 100-mile-an-hour pass ball, he would have been like, "Fuck this shit, I'm not doing this."
And he also swung like a 48-ounce bat.
Yeah, because they were pitching the ball 30 miles an hour.
Because he was a man, not some little.
Because he's a man. Yeah,
Japan.
they pitched 35 miles an hour was a fastball.
Sayonara, Ohtani.
Slow pitch. During the slow pitch era.
JP says, "Well, last week I tried watching USA Uruguay and Copa Soccer, whatever. I watched 65 minutes of action and the halftime. That's 65 minutes. I'm never getting my game. I'm never getting back. And this is the problem that JP and a lot of fans have. They want to give it a chance, but when it's just not the product isn't very good, they're just like, I'm not wasting my time. It's like WNBA for me. For me, it's like WNBA. I saw the last 5 minutes of the championship game. I said, let's see this Caitlin Clark thing, what it's all about. Championship game. I saw her throw up 7 or 8 bricks, miss layup after layup. Both teams. It's like, holy shit. I'm not getting this 15 minutes back. And that's what I felt like. I think I'm still emotionally damaged from watching that.
Yeah, it doesn't help that they played on the narrow field and with less width to it and height to it.
What that does, TJ, real quick, is it eliminates the athletes
skill
to do the best that they can do when you condense a field.
Yes, it's like you give a football player more space. The likelihood that they're going to be able to evade tackles and get into open space and create a touchdown is higher. It's the same thing with football. The more space you have, the more you can isolate somebody and the more you can showcase your skills. But when you say, there's a guy who's 37 years old who doesn't have the wheels that he used to have, so we need to give him a shorter, more condensed space. And he's always been able to dribble through multiple defenders in a condensed space. That's the real talent that Messi has. And I'd say
because if you touch him, he falls down. That's fast.
Nothing else besides I can dribble extremely well in tight spaces and I've got a great left foot. That is it. That's the only 2 things that guy does, and he does them better than any other player in the world at those levels. But he's not a guy who can exploit you with speed at the age of 37 years old. So how can we help that out? Now, something worth mentioning. 49ers wide receiver Brandon Ayuk just posted a picture of the Commanders film on his TikTok.
Why?
Do you think he's going to go to the Commanders?
He already said he wanted to go play with his friend.
Why would you want to go there, first of all?
Because he wants to play with his friend and he wants money.
He wants to get paid.
You know what tells me? He doesn't care about winning.
Yes, yeah. Are you surprised?
I don't think a lot of these players really care about winning.
No, they don't.
So Malik Neighbors, he went ahead, right? The Giants draft pick. Let me put it like this. He just ordered up there in New York, and the first thing he was doing was going to the strip club, throwing thousands and thousands of dollars, they said. People are already drawing the comparison. Another Kadarius Toney. Again,
this is what happens when you give.
I don't care what you do. You just better be ready to freaking play football, my friends.
This is what happens when you give a moron money. This is the type of thing that happens.
Well, Trey Young did the same thing. People go to the strip club and like that. It's not for me.
The Giants made a mistake. And he will do nothing this year. And I'm not going to say.
No, he will do something. He's going to have wrist injuries from throwing all that money at the strip club.
But I'm just saying on the field, he's going to do nothing. And I'm not going to say it's because of his talent. It's because he doesn't have a quarterback.
The issue I have is this. I don't care if you go to the strip club, you're throwing thousands. I don't care. You have to have done something, in my opinion, before you start doing this. I firmly believe, right, if Jamar Chase was doing this or Justin Jefferson, I don't care. The guy is spectacular. I'm not questioning his ability. I'm not questioning his talent. He showed me that he can do it on the field already. No questions at all. Malik Neighbors, you've never played a down in the NFL. And here you go. The first thing you get up there is, hey, let me go to the strip club and start throwing around a few thousand. Let me throw a few racks around. I'm like,
Just looking at the watch and the chain around his neck and him throwing money around, I wonder how much of his signing bonus he has left. I'm going to bet not much.
Who knows? But I will say I am a big fan. If you do that, I want you to have at least performed. I don't like Saquon Barkley. If he went out and did no problem at all, you perform. I don't have an issue. This kid has never taken a snap in the NFL before. It's the same thing like if I saw Kadarius Toney before he took a snap over there. Hey, I'm going out to the strip clubs. I'm throwing thousands. I'm like, dude, focus on football a little bit. You should be, when you leave college and you go to the NFL, you should be the hungriest you've ever been. I'm here to make a name for myself. I'm here to perform. I'm here to make an impact. And the first, I don't know. Doesn't seem like that's the case. So I don't know. I'd like to see my guy a little bit hungrier. I'd like to see him have that killer instinct, but throwing the racks around, Grump.
JP says, also talking on the soccer topic, the next time I'm going to opt for watching paint dry or watching flies fuck.
Oh, God.
Tony Fitzy Diddle Cheese says TJ is the ball shave grifter.
That's me.
This is Alex Monroe. It says, fellas, did you bring your tissues? Going to be a rough night of reading comments regarding me still never being able to score in a knockout round of any competition through international career.
Well, that's not true.
I don't think that's true either.
It's not.
As a matter of fact, I know it's absolutely not true.
Yeah, simple as that. And here's the thing. I love how we're talking about international play where, again, we just went over that. Historically, Portugal, very small nation, has never had international success until Cristiano's here. And ever since he's been there, absolutely they've had success. Simple as that. It's not like it's just like the Saudi League. The Saudis have always had money. Why all of a sudden are players going to the Saudi League? Oh, just by mere coincidence and happenstance. No, it's because
how many knockout round goals did Messi have in Champions League since he left Barca?
0.
Okay. You want to know the crazy thing? Messi went a time period where he did not have a single goal. I think it was in 10 international games that were not friendlies in a row. It's just like, oof. And that was including the 2014 World Cup up to the 2016 Copa America, where he didn't score a fucking goal. Nobody's complaining about that during the prime of his career, putting up goose eggs. 39-year-old Cristiano Ronaldo didn't score a goal. Oh, yeah, 39.
Tony Fitzdill Cheese says, I just got here. Did we address the facial hair?
Who's that? Grumpy's or X's?
Yours, the lack of your facial hair, maybe.
Oh, no, shaved it off, all gone.
Gone. Sorry, I was starring other comments.
You doing, Grump?
Son X, would you be more comfortable sharing your thoughts concerning the harsh treatment you've experienced about the current water bottle controversy at the Grumpy Mansion?
Yeah,
What
he
happened
put
at the
he
Grumpy
put a
Mansion?
no X zone sign on the water. Bastard.
That's right.
Not a
No
fan of it.
X zone.
Trash.
Alex Monroe says, well, starting early. Little Ronnie roast session tonight, shall we?
Yeah, I don't get it. I don't get the need to, like, again, like with Leo, I don't have the need to shit on Leo. Leo is spectacular, the things he does, but I'm like, he's done
He's not
too.
spectacular anymore.
No, he
No,
was.
Just
He was.
not. And
He was.
neither is Ronaldo.
They're
I
both
told you,
finished. They're both finished.
yeah, that's right. They're both finished. I told you a year ago, Cristiano's not the same guy. Just not.
I don't think the way that Portugal's team is set up is one to where Cristiano can be successful. Just like I don't think the way England's team set up, it's not designed for Harry Kane to be successful. A big target man up front needs a slower team that's going to launch a shit ton of crosses in the box and go ahead and just play everything wide and try to hit it towards the middle. That's not how Portugal plays. That's not how England plays. And it's the reason they play uninspiring, boring football right now.
Cristiano, this was his last Euro championship. I think he will play in the World Cup. But I also feel that he cannot play full games. He's going to have to be an impact sub coming on the 60th minute. And that team's going to struggle because they don't have anyone who puts the ball in the back of the net. That's their biggest issue. They don't, and they didn't get him the ball. The team just said, okay, we're going to put 3-4 guys around Cristiano and let somebody else beat us. And they just flat out couldn't do it.
Yeah.
They're just not good enough. Alex Monroe says Copa America done the right way. After 90 minutes, just go to pens. That extra 30 minutes is just wasted time with both teams wanting penalties. What? I disagree.
It's not like that in the Champions League, the World Cup, or Euros. And any tournament that means anything, that does not exist. The only thing that exists in is friendly tournaments at the beginning of the season. That's it. So Copa America is a friendly. Thank you, Al.
I compare it to when World Championship boxing matches went from 15 rounds in a championship fight to 12. Always rounds 13, 14, and 15 were known as the championship rounds. Why were they known as that? Because that's where you're truly tested. Yep. Your mental endurance, your physical endurance is tested in that extra time. They're just dumbing down the tournament. And I don't think it proves anything, honestly. Just like in boxing, same thing.
Well, the one thing is, though, it's not a ubiquitous change. It's just a change that was made for this one tournament for 1 year. That's it. They
seem to do that often. They seem to do that often.
Hey, we're gonna play it every 2 years, and hey, we're gonna play a Copa America in back-to-back years to get Messi his first international trophy. It's not by coincidence.
Alex Monroe says Ronaldo hasn't scored in his last 710 minutes played in the Euros. I don't know if that's true, but I will say he passed up a tap and goal in this tournament where he easily could have just tapped that in. And then we wouldn't even have this conversation.
Cristiano has the most goals and the most assists ever recorded in the history of Euros. Next comment.
That's true. Alex adds, Tim Howard needs to go get Klopp and stand by his word. Klopp did make an Instagram post about July 4th in the USA. I don't think that means anything. If they pay him enough, I think he'll probably come over. But the problem is going to be is they don't have enough talent.
Pay him, get him here. Simple.
Alex also adds, I'm sorry for missing the game-winning chance in the box, fellas. I saw a Messi jersey in the 30th row and had to change my aiming point.
Messi must have done that in 2016 when they played against Chile.
And Messi also did that. He thought it was a crossbar challenge when he had a chance to help his team win. But don't worry, other players bailed him out as he's missing PKs.
That's what happens when you actually have teammates who are good around you and not ones that miss
penalties. The best player on Argentina now is Martinez.
Lautaro Martinez. Yep.
He's by far the best player on Argentina. Yep. Frida Fun Adventure says, question for Son X. When's your parents' anniversary? Do you know that, X?
Oh, sometime during the year.
Number 2, how many people's refrigerators and pantries have you been banned from?
1, and it's the no X zone water bottle section in Grumpy Mansion.
Fiance Y probably bans him from the refrigerator as well. You go to cookouts and not bring any food? That's true. He doesn't do that. He brings his appetite. Ever give a Publix gift card to your parents? Nope.
Usually the parents, the warden buys X his groceries. That's what Grumpy says.
And here's
No,
another one.
she'll buy me stuff over at their house. That's it.
And here's another question you could add on the end. Did you get your father a Father's Day gift?
Dude, you haven't given me your list of Blu-rays that you want.
The answer is nope.
Don't even want to talk about it. I already asked you for a list of Blu-rays. You deemed that you didn't want to give them to me, so nothing I can do.
So the answer is no to that question.
He doesn't want to help out.
Yep. Alex Rose says Germany got robbed by Spain. Germany definitely deserved to win that game, but apparently handballs in the box can't even be reviewed by Perez paid for VAR. Fulkrug was not off nor have a handball.
He was offside. That is absolute horseshit. He was absolutely offside on that play. They showed it. He was off.
I know X was rooting for Spain. I didn't care. As a Real Madrid fan, it didn't matter to me. If Germany won, I would root for Toni Kroos to win a tournament in his farewell, which he never won. Or if Spain won, we got Danny Carvajal and Nacho on that team. So it didn't matter to me. It was a great game. I thought Spain was a better team, though. For the majority of the match, I thought Spain was better. But that's been by far, for the top level teams, neither one of them sat back. It was a great game.
Yep.
I expect Spain to beat France. France is unbelievably. They've been unbelievably disappointing.
I do too. Alex says, Ronnie fanboys have hit rock bottom when bringing up the size of the fields. Ha. This is due to Copa America games being played on NFL fields in the USA.
Here's my thing: when they played in the United States in 2016, why were the fields not changed? None of the field sizes changed in 2016.
They also have the ability to add the length, and they have venues here in the U.S. to do that. Because guess what? For the World Cup, they're not going to be playing on smaller fields. They're going to be playing on regulation-sized fields because some of the fields can do that, and they can retrofit it to add that little extra portion because they have enough room on the sidelines. Some fields don't. Why would you even use that as a venue? They don't. They use all the venues have the appropriate amount of size that you want, but they're determined to do this.
Are all MLS games on regulation-sized fields, or are they all on smaller fields?
Yeah, they're on regulation-sized fields. Exactly. They just wanted to put the smaller fucking field in to help out Messi. That's it.
No, I think it's because they wanted to get more fans in the stands, and the MLS stands they just don't carry that many people because they don't need to. So what they do is they try to put them in the football stadiums. I mean, I question some of the stadiums that they're in because, I know MetLife can fit a full-size
same thing with Arrowhead, same thing with Atlanta, same thing with Charlotte, same thing. It's all of them can fit. All of these football, they have a lot of room on the sidelines for where people do warming up on the football players and they have like press. Yeah. There's a shit ton of room on the sides of these fields. It's bullshit. They have, if you've ever, Al, I encourage you to walk down at Bank of America Stadium, whatever it's called for the Panthers place. It's still Bank of America?
Yeah, it's still Bank of America.
Go walk down on the field, and when you walk down on there, you're like, wow, they've got a lot of room between us and where the stands start. They have a room. And same thing with AT&T, where all these games are going to be played at. They've got a shit ton of room on the sidelines.
Here's my thing. If they were able to do it in 2016, why can't they do it now? When we were the host country.
Well, in 1994, they were not small fields then.
Alrighty,
you have to play regulation fields in the World Cup. They don't play on the tiny fields then. Alex also says you have to win your group to get on the easy side of the bracket. No, that's not true. That's absolutely not true.
Uruguay and Colombia won both of their groups, and they're still on the same side of the bracket with Brazil. And
it's A against B and C against D. There's no randomization.
Absolutely. They should have flipped. What they should have done if they were going to do the Eastern-Western Conference thing, you had to break up Colombia, Brazil, Uruguay, and Argentina, 2 in each side. Because honestly, they're the 4 best teams in the tournament. I mean,
what's up, James? How are you, man? Freedom Fund Adventure, Grumpy.
Sonex, why are you sitting in the dark? You still feeling last night, buddy? Oh, very true.
Damn.
X came over to the house yesterday after a night of imbibing, shall we say. He had alcohol stains on his shirt. So did fiance Y. And I said to the warden, I said, fiance Y had one part of her shirt tucked in, the other side out. And the warden says, well, that's the style. I'm like, that's a stupid style.
Hold on. X, let me ask you this.
And X did not drive home last night either.
I was about to say, who drove you home?
Fiance,
why? She was questioning herself. She's like, fiance, why?
Oh man. And rest of the comment there, Grump.
How did your family get into soccer? My dad played and watched. I played into college, but never enjoyed watching it. I think it was the 2010 World Cup.
2014 World Cup.
I mean, I always watched the World Cup. I've been a fan of Holland/Netherlands since 1974. The uniforms, when you're a kid, it's like, oh. So I've always been a fan of them. But, yeah, I've always liked it in them. But I think the boys, it wasn't until 2010 World Cup.
It's 20. Yeah, I guess 2010, 2014, kind of around there. Yeah.
Alex, how many more of these Ronaldo comments are you going to highlight, X?
I highlighted just about almost every comment that we had. So,
okay.
X, that's your job. Is supposed to be weeding out the shitty ones, like these ones. X, what are you? No, I'm just kidding. Anyway, go ahead, Grumpy.
It occurred to y'all that Ron was surrounded by most talent that Portugal's ever had on one team, and that they went to PKs against Slovenia and lost to one of the worst French teams we've seen in a while. I don't think France is a bad team. They're a really good team.
I think they're just playing really shitty soccer.
They're just. I mean, Mbappe. I don't think he's 100%, but it's the coach. The coach is shackling that team. They could just run up and down the field. I think Ousmane Dembele looked really good. The best I've ever seen him play, honestly, against Portugal.
There's video of him eating freaking pizza in pregame as everybody else is like getting ready. This motherfucker just has a box of pizza. He's just down in the large cheese pizza.
And here's another problem with a lot of these national teams, particularly if you're playing a good national team. You see everyone is like usually the best player on their club team, and they all think they're the man. And when that happens, it's a problem because there has to be one lead dog. And a lot of times these guys think that they're all the lead dogs. It's been a problem with the Netherlands for years and years and years, where they get into squabbles on who should take free kicks, who should do this, who should get the ball, who should pass the ball, because they all think they're the stars. And it's been a problem. I think it is in the national team level still at this stage. James Farrell says, I watched the fastest dog competition today. The dog who won ran 36 miles an hour. That's pretty damn fast.
Speaking of dogs, did anybody get a chance to watch the hot dog eating contest?
Did not. Totally forgot about it.
So we talked about this briefly. Nathan's would not allow. Now you can watch the playback of it on ESPN. It's like an hour long, so they condensed it. They had the lemonade chugging challenge. Airsoft Fatty was in that X.
And Booker,
Booker,
baby, broke the world record. Drank, what was it, a gallon or 4 gallons? A gallon of lemonade in like 20 seconds or something.
Booker pushing 4 bills.
There's in the video, there's guys like throwing up who are like only like a third of the way through drinking it, and he drank the whole thing in 20 seconds.
Well, Airsoft Fatty also did a hot dog eating contest earlier on. That was like the celebrity hot dog eating contest, and he tried to chug a gallon of lemonade. Like it was not a good look.
Who was the guy? Tim Bertolini, who wound up winning the contest.
Yes. Now here's the one thing they're talking about. It's like, okay. He went 17 years in a row and he only lost 1 hot dog eating contest, but they wouldn't let him compete because he signed a brand deal with some organic plant hot dog company or something like that.
They're there to promote Nathan's hot dogs.
You want to know what is Nathan's hot dog? And I've never been a Joey Chestnut guy. You guys know that. I've never been a fan of his. Never, not a once. But I'm like, dude, you got to let the guy fucking compete. What is this? Tyrannical. What's 4th of July about? Hot dogs? Okay. Blowing fingers off of fireworks and alcohol. Those are the 3 things. That's
put it in reverse, Terry.
The one thing I wanted to see was Joey Chestnut. They talked about it. It's like, you can't talk hot dog eating. They did at least a really nice tribute to him. But I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, man, let the guy fucking compete if he wants to. I don't want to see, we don't ever get to see an actual passing of the torch. The passing of the torch from Joey Chestnut was, well, he just wasn't able to compete anymore. One day I want to see somebody beat that son of a bitch fair and square and not be controlled by big dog.
That guy will be 70 and still down in freaking like 80 dogs.
I'm going to bet that it's tougher to eat a Nathan's dog, as many Nathan's dogs, as some type of plant-based dog. I'm going to tell you that for a second. Absolutely.
Yeah. Next comment here by Goon Goon Grump.
Which New York sports franchise has mastered the art of no lead is safe no matter how many goals or runs are given up? The Mets or the Islanders? I'd say probably the Mets.
Yeah.
Historically, the Mets. Alex Monroe says, only thing I can agree with you on is the Copa refs have been awful. The USA game against Uruguay was one of the worst officiated games I've ever seen, and that's even considering Madrid games that are rigged. Well, you should watch some of the other games in the Copa America tournament. I mean, it's the officials are out of their depth. I'm just going to say they're just out of their depth.
Yep.
Yes.
Alex Monroe says Spain and Germany is the only Euros game that went into extra time that didn't wind up going in penalties. Well, Spain tries to win, and so did Germany. And here's the thing. I'm going to tell you what. I thought what was England. Yeah, England and Switzerland did not try to win.
And here's my thing. Off of those extra time games, how many of those teams in the extra time games were down a man during extra time? The answer is none.
Yeah,
the answer is none. None of the teams were.
I
think that makes a difference when you're playing 10 men as opposed to 11.
Yeah, but you're overrating Brazil. I don't think Brazil's that good. I think their coach is not very good. They don't have a finisher on that team. That's their problem.
All it takes is one fluke play in extra time, and they move on.
What does Brazil? And the reason why Uruguay is so good? What is Brazil's strength? What's Uruguay's strength? Uruguay's strength is a strong, stout defense and a solid midfield that does not allow easy access. Playing on a condensed field. Is there any wonder
too, though? They're really aggressive pressing.
Press on a smaller field. Is there any wonder why they've done well? And what's Brazil's strength? Always, historically, has been Brazil's strength. Talent, flair, and skill on the outside. So what does it do when you play on a condensed field? You don't get to do that as much, and it's tougher to freaking penetrate a team when they're playing on a more condensed field. I think that is so fucking obvious that I'm like, it's mind-numbing that they did that. I think it's a joke. It's a joke of a tournament.
And here's where I disagree with X a little bit. With the condensed field, even if you're down a man, it's still easier to defend. You don't have to defend as much grass.
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, they had the extra man for what, 15 minutes? It didn't matter. Brazil was no threat.
Another 30 minutes going to extra time. Because here's the thing. When you play from 90 minutes to 120, that extra 30 minutes really, you start to see the legs get tired. That's why they play extra time. And that's why the penalties, right? Oh, man, you missed because you're fucking a lot more tired because you played just another 30 minutes of balls to the walls action. So anyway, let's go. Next comment here. Goon Goon Grump.
You don't understand that Copa America is a South American tournament. Therefore, their countries get the open bullshit. Horseshit. The home team always gets.
Hold on. I had something to comment about that. Here, how the hell do I share this?
Not to mention Argentina won the last Copa, but no, that's not true, Alex. It's just not true.
Okay.
You look at every single tournament.
Here we go. I'm going to show you this. Look right here. 2016. Who's the host country? United States, right?
Yes.
Okay, so U.S. is the host country. Then when we go ahead and look.
It's the first game of the tournament. It's every single tournament. The host country gets the first game. Any World Cup, Russia, when it was held in Sochi, Russia got the first game. When it was held in South Africa got the home game. You just roll.
Damn it.
X, we leave you one time.
Sorry, I'm trying to do this. Hold on.
The home team gets the Group A, and they get the first game of the tournament, period. Germany,
and then here's your dates and times. Look at this. Wow. United States in 2016. Oh, my gosh. They played Colombia in the first game in 2016 when they were the host country.
A home team.
Wow. Crazy how that worked.
It doesn't even matter about this rinky-dink tournament. Every tournament. The home team, the team that is the sponsor of the tournament, gets the game one and is in Group A. Period.
Why could you imagine they'd let Argentina play first? Do you think maybe it's to allow an older 37-year-old Messi a few extra days west?
And then look, here's the thing too. Guess who the 2015 champions were? Chile. Did you see Chile playing in that opening game? No, and not in 2016.
It's not the way it worked.
Yeah, it's absolute horseshit. They did this the first time they've ever done that shit. It's bullshit.
It's not because they want Argentina
to benefit
to win.
Messi.
They want Messi's the biggest name in this tournament, and they want to promote. They want eyeballs on sets. What they don't realize, you might get a short time gain here, maybe with Messi. I don't think you do, but in the long run, you should be promoting the United States players in the U.S. You just that if you're trying to promote United States soccer and actually have soccer mean something in the United States, you need to promote the U.S. team so that you get better athletes. The farther the U.S. goes in tournaments, the more kids are going to want to stay in soccer because of what they see on television, period.
Okay. Here's my thing about this. Colombia is a South American country. Yes, they are. But guess what? Colombia didn't win in 2015. Chile did. So why was Chile not playing in the opening game then? If that's your theory, why was Chile not playing in the opening game?
He's just wrong. I don't even know what you're bothering with him. It's just wrong. Goon Grump.
Grumpy, which one of your sons is most passionate about sports? Who do you trust more holding down the fort? I'm the one who has to hold down the fort, period. I don't trust either one of those slack bastards. And which one is most passionate about sports? Okay, it used to be TJ. Now it's X. He has an irrational
The fix is in on everything.
Yeah, see, he's kind of weird, which makes him he's like a dangerous mental patient when it comes to sports because everything's a conspiracy theory to him.
The thing is, there's stuff that lines up and proves it, though.
It's
You're really going to tell me that this Copa America is not fixed for one individual?
Okay.
Yeah, he keeps saying that. That's fine. Anyway, let's move along. We're done. I'm done talking soccer. We got other things we need to talk about. JP Grump.
A lot of those games are rigged, he says.
True.
You go, Al Grump.
32 first-time All-Stars this year in baseball. Absolutely wild. Rumors Paul Skeens could start the game pitching for the National League. He's been really, really good.
Yes, and that's something I had pulled up. This is the first time ever in the history of the MLB that a player was drafted first overall, and the very next year after being drafted, he made the All-Star game.
Okay.
He's played 10 games, has a 2.12 ERA, 78 strikeouts, and 59 innings pitched. He has been playing lights out for the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Really good. Really good. Electric pitcher. Really good. JP says, not a fan of the 86 Mets, eh, Grumpy? They curtain called ground balls. No, they did not curtain call ground balls. No. And I was a fan of the 1986 Mets. No, absolutely not. Everything was not a curtain call. Regular season games were no curtain calls. Maybe opening day or hitting a home run to win a game, okay. But not, hey, I hit 3 home runs. They send them out for curtain call. Just no. It's just stop. No. Gungun says, I hear you, Grumpy, regarding baseball players over-celebrating every little fart play, but let's not forget the kings of over-celebrating the NFL. Call it cause fatigue. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing I kind of liked about baseball was a little bit, okay, just because all the players in the NFL act like children doesn't mean that everyone should follow.
Dude, you're shitting on a guy getting a curtain call for a 3 home run game. That's like having 5 rushing touchdowns in a game. And you're like, he shouldn't have been going ahead and celebrating too hard. He only had 5 rushing touchdowns. You
realize there are really no curtain calls in football. There are none. The guys celebrate everything. So they don't need a curtain call. We don't need to call you back out to celebrate because, I mean, damn.
You already did it when you were out all the time. You already did it when you were out there on the field. Yeah. It'd be like if somebody was hitting the gritty down the third baseline after you hit a home run.
Hitting the gritty. You go. Next comment, Grump.
Alex says, Shoei never had Jimmy Rollins, Chase Utley, Shane Venturino. Jesus Christ. On base when he played for the Angels. No, he had Mike Trout, though. Shane Venturino. Shane Venturino, that your comment has already been disqualified.
Shane Victorino, not Venturino. Victorino.
Whatever. I don't even need – I think his name was Venturino.
No, it's Victorino. Absolutely, he spelled that right. It's Shane Victorino. As a Mets,
like I said, if there's a confusion over his name, that just means he's not good enough for me to remember.
I just think you're too old to remember things like that, Grump.
Yeah, I remember the guy. He wasn't that good.
Shane Venturino.
Kuga says, wasn't CC Sabathia another large pro athlete who found it difficult to eat less ding-dongs? Yeah, but since he's retired from the sport, he's slimmed down considerably.
Should have stayed his ass in shape. He would have been a better pitcher long term.
Maybe that's what made him a good pitcher was the extra weight.
Hefty Lefty had all that weight behind his pitcher.
Tony Fitzy Diddle Cheese says TJ really dislikes overweight people tonight.
Dude, if it's your job to be in shape to where you can do it and you're not in shape, I'm sorry. That's like if you go to your job and your work and Tony, they're like, hey, we need you to do 100 widgets today. And you're like, man. I've hurt myself. I hurt myself because I'm morbidly obese. I can only start doing 10 widgets a day. Well, fuck off and lose your job.
I know we're not going to talk about this today, but is anyone interested in the Olympics?
No.
Nope, me neither.
Yeah. I guess
maybe when it happens, I'll be a little bit more interested.
I'll play that French song for you again, Grumpy.
Oh boy. Well, it's the only time the French song we played because they ain't good enough to win.
No, they won't be playing that. Trust me, they won't be playing that song. But now, when did the Summer Olympics start?
I don't know, pretty soon.
Yeah, coming up.
August.
Okay. Gotcha.
I don't know. Like I said, I guess we don't care. James Farrell says, guys, did you ever see the Evil Knievel doc? I have not. Grump, did you know the original idea of Evil to jump over Grand Canyons? He was going to use a motorcycle with wings on it. Well, I don't know if it was a motorcycle with wings, but
that was not going to work.
The rocket ship didn't even make it either.
Is that how he died?
What?
Is that how he died?
No.
Oh, I don't know if that's
Evil
how he died.
Knievel was like, I don't know who you can compare himself to.
He was a stuntman.
No, he was not a stuntman. He was a motorcycle guy. He jumped buses, cars. Wide World of Sports made him famous, and it wasn't that he made it. It was the fact that he crashed is what made him famous. I mean, you see him. You should watch YouTube stuff on Evil Knievel. You look at his body, just bing, bang, bang. It's like, holy shit.
Makes you want to watch Hot Rod tonight.
Hot Rod, baby.
I mean, damn. Gungu says, movie mavens, I recently rewatched the controversial 1995 film Kids, which I hadn't seen since Lou Lamoriello was a middle-aged man. It was quite disturbing, but interestingly shot little film. Man, neither one of you have seen it. I didn't think it was that good. I thought
That's not the one with Robin Williams in it, is it?
No. It was more like, I think they were kind of hoping for a documentary type thing.
Oh.
Where just like kids doing shit they shouldn't be doing. I saw a little bit. Here's the thing. I didn't find it entertaining at all for me to even watch the whole thing. Okay, here's another Ronaldo comment. We can just do a blow by on this one. Please don't tell me we're bragging about qualifying for Euros.
I'm just gonna let you know I start about every comment. So
okay.
Just roll through them. If you don't want to read it, we can move on.
Another one. No more Ronaldo comments. Just keep on blasting through.
Okay.
Keep going.
Give me a second. Jesus.
It's soccer, not football. Okay, there's another one. Okay, here we go. JP says, just to amend my comment, I give soccer players the props for being the fittest athletes anywhere. Their fitness is incredible as a spectator sport, torture, Admiral Denton style. Yeah. Gungun says, Sunex, if I heard correctly the other night, TJ admitted to utilizing the Manscaped lawnmower to his advantage. Were you aware of this revelation? If so, please share your thoughts and concerns.
I did not realize that TJ used the Manscaped lawnmower to his advantage.
But 2.0. Have you ever used
Manscaped? The more you know. The more you know.
Have you used Manscaped there, X?
Yeah, I think you got me one for Christmas one year.
That's right, I did. How does that thing work?
I mean, are we promoted on the podcast?
No.
No comment then. I'm not
going to say says, good job, X. Trading Brock Nelson potentially opens up a good amount of cap space, but most importantly, his value is said to bring equal of 3 first-round picks. I disagree with that wholeheartedly. So pick a player and an NHL prospect. Okay, TJ, is there any player X? I'm not even going to ask you this question.
Good, thank God, because I didn't have an answer.
Let's say I don't know what was. Oh, here we go. So pick a player and an NHL ready prospect. Key to rebuild. TJ,
I would be fine with like as weird as it sounds, like Rucker McGroarty, a guy like that, and a first round pick. I'd be happy with, because I need somebody who has the pedigree first off, was drafted and had performed well with the pedigree, and then an additional first round pick. That's what I'm looking for in a selection like that.
I'm looking to move him to a team like Buffalo, who would use a solid veteran presence on their forward group, maybe get one of their young forwards, as well as somebody in the minors and maybe a first round pick.
Buffalo already handed away one of their top prospects for next to nothing.
So maybe they overvalue Brock Nelson.
I don't know.
I don't think he's worth 3 first round picks. No.
I'd love that, but he's not.
Here we go. If Pinaldo and Ghost Ronaldo, well, I'll tell you what. If Cristiano Ronaldo played with a team of Cristiano Ronaldos, they probably get fist fights on the field. They probably have 15 goals a game and 15 fist fights because they were pissed off they weren't getting the ball. Man, what a pitcher's duel in the South Bronx tonight. Yankees down 2-0 in the 8th inning. JP says you really have to have a dog at Coney Island before judging Nathan's hot dogs. Freedom Fund Venture says, I've been watching very detailed scouting breakdowns of the Islanders' second-round pick, Jesse Pulkkinen, and am even more excited about his potential than when he was selected.
He's a big guy who struggles skating anything but in straight lines. He was an overage kid too, but sometimes they take a little bit longer. I hope maybe he turns into something, but he's a guy who's probably 5 years away, 24, 25 years old until we see maybe he gets a shot, right?
Yeah. Here's the thing. You're going to have to skate better. It's imperative that you, into the modern NHL, you must be able to skate.
Yes, days of holding, clutching, and grabbing are
They're over.
Yep. Nice comment here, X.
Mr. X.
Okay.
JP says, Grumpy, they curtain called every home run. You don't remember? They did not curtain call every home run. They did not curtain call every home run. They did not do it.
I think they did that.
Alex Monroe says, a lot of stuff lined up for Barca paying refs too, didn't it, X? Shame that there was no actual proof that they were cleared of all charges. Witch hunt coming from the capital of Spain and their dictator Perez.
Didn't they burn all the evidence?
The guy's got dementia. They couldn't bring him up on the stand. Okay. Was there chicanery going on? Yeah, there was. Could they prove it? I mean, I still think there are still charges against them that have not been
dropped
yet. I don't trust the justice systems of any of these other countries, to be honest with you.
Isn't that why all the players have tax evasion?
JP said the 86 Mets did. That's one of the reasons there were so many fights. They did fight amongst themselves a little bit. HB Carlos says, shout out from Portugal.
What's up, HB Carlos, baby?
Not making
What's up?
DJ X and Grumpy, have a glass of wine tonight.
Have a glass of wine tonight. That's everything that we have so far. Do we want to talk about Bronny James?
Sure.
Oh,
Here's one about Alex says about Steph Curry is 18-0 in a U.S. basketball jersey throughout 2 FIBA World Championships. Something to look forward to at the Olympics coming up. The United States should never lose at a basketball tournament, ever. JP says, freedom from your lips to God's ears. If the Islanders traded Brock Nelson for 3 number 1 picks, I'd literally do a dance and go buy a bottle of Dom Perignon. He's not worth that. I'd rather get, honestly, instead of 3 first-round picks, a first-round pick, an NHL-ready player, younger, and a top-level prospect. But he's not worth that much. I just don't think he is at this stage.
Do you want to talk about Bronny James?
Sure.
Yes. X, you wanted to mention something about Bronny James.
He's terrible. He sucks.
It was the reason why in college he was only averaging 4 points a game. I mean, that tells you all you need to know really about that.
Well, he's right on par from how he played in college. So.
Well, yeah, he went, and again, these are preseason games, right? So it's worth taking everything with a grain of salt. I'll put that up.
Yeah, it's worth taking the grain of salt that none of the superstars are out there.
Let's be honest. Games. He's a G League player.
Yep, not even
at this stage. He will stay. What the hell is this? Is this Bronny taking shots?
On the right, yeah.
That's a meme, Grumpy. That's a meme. I'll stop the meme so you don't have to see anymore. Oh, well, there you go. There you go. Here you go, Grumpy.
Okay. Let's see that.
Bronny, first shot of Summer League is just a little strong. Bronny over Dane Goodwin.
He sucks.
Another one. Gets a clean look.
This shot is just bad. That's a bad shot.
That's a great point. And there, that's really nice penetration. Good job.
All right, Bronny James with his first points. Bronny. Off next.
Jesus. Oh my God, his form
Bronny
is so bad.
got to his spot. In and out.
Hey, for this young guy, and it speaks well for the summer for him.
5 in the 3-point shooting drill at the combine. That was
Holy
second.
Shit, he's terrible.
Was blocked by arms.
It's like Shaq shooting free.
Bronny a little out of control.
He's got no off either. He sucks.
The Grizzlies G League affiliate.
Oh my God.
Bronny. 17-footer. Perfect.
That was nice.
That's the blind dog.
Woo!
Bronny in and out.
Yeah, so he went 2 for 9 and 0 for 2
Ronnie
from free
for-
throws in his opener.
Nate Robinson's like, well, not bad shots. Just got to stay in the gym, dude. He fucking blows this guy. He's
Shaking up. Stop making excuses for a guy who does not deserve to be in the league.
All good shots on target.
This is what we call
none of them went in except for 2.
This is a nepotism hire right here.
Yep.
They just
He's
glaze
terrible.
this guy.
Odds that once his dad retires, I think LeBron signed like a 2-year contract, if I'm not mistaken.
I guess
Odds after that 2-year contract are done that he's filing for unemployment.
I'm sorry, he's not good. No. Honestly, I think I'm a better shooter than he is right now. I could get off the couch and shoot just as good as he did.
Grump, we're gonna have to get you a ball and net and have you do some shots.
I'll tell you what, my form is better than his right now. I'm going to damn well tell you that.
We'll get you down to the Y.
His form, he doesn't even
taking some shots.
Oh my gosh, sorry, Bronny. I don't know you from a hole in the wall. You should not be playing basketball.
Jesus.
If you're that small, you got to have something about you that stands out. You have to have some type of athleticism. He doesn't have any of that. Sorry.
Frankie G.
You think Team USA will win every game by 50, or is France going to be good? They're not going to win every game by 50. And this is the same thing. Why do you think teams from around the world are better now? It was all because of the tournament where they let the pros play, the dream team, and it elevated basketball for all these other countries since it was on the Olympic stage. That's when all of a sudden, hey, you know what? Look at how great this team is. We can all do this in this country too. They don't have that in the United States for soccer. They need that. Then Alex says, with Spain having a lot of players suspended due to red cards, accumulation of 2 yellows, can France score 1 goal from open play all tournament? Netherlands could very well beat England. I think Netherlands will beat England. And I still think Spain is better than France.
It's pretty much a guaranteed thing, though, right now at this point, just because of the exit for Brazil. Probably Jude Bellingham wins the Ballon d'Or this year, right?
No.
They'd have to. England would have to win.
Messi's going to win Ballon d'Or, right?
It should be. It probably will be Vinicius. Oh, you said Messi?
Yes.
Yeah, Messi, right?
Oh, yeah, dude. Based on his 2022 highlights, man. Definitely. Based on his 2022 performance, he'll win.
I mean, Mbappe is the best player in the world, though.
Oh,
yeah, but he didn't win anything.
It's Jude.
I know, I'm just saying. But
Jude's the best player in the world. It's not Mbappe.
Without Jude, that England team would have already been home. Let's be honest.
That's true. I think it's because Jude plays for Real. Look at the Real players, man. They all show up in the big moments, except for Rodrigo. Goon says, does TJ's Lastings Millage baseball card give him an extra layer of comfort, a la Linus's blanket? Do you even know who Linus is, TJ?
Yes, that's from Linus is the guy from Charlie, or not Charlie. He's oh my God, it's
Peanuts.
Peanuts. X, keep quiet. Who?
Peanuts.
Well, okay, you only got to go X said it 3 times. He didn't know. He didn't know.
I kept saying Charlie, but I'm like, Charlie doesn't.
It's
sound.
called Peanuts.
How many of the Peanuts characters can you name, TJ?
Linus, Pigpen, Charlie.
Charlie who?
Snoopy,
Charlie who?
Charlie Brown.
Okay.
Snoopy. That Tweety bird, that yellow bird. What's his name? Tweety bird. What's his name?
His name is not Tweety. No, we're not telling you. Then you have to tell us the names, Hammerhead. What's the name? Should we bring Paige in?
Charlie. No,
Charlie. You already said Charlie once.
Who is that? There's the blonde girl. There's the brown-headed girl. The one who does the lemonade stand. I don't remember. What's their name, Grumpy? Why don't you let us know?
Okay. What did Schroeder? What did Schroeder do?
I got 4 right. How many can X get? I got 4 right.
What did Schroeder do? Do you remember what Schroeder was known for?
No.
Playing the piano.
I thought that was Pigpen who played the piano.
No, Pigpen.
Pigpen was a
Pigpen always had the dust cloud around him.
Yeah.
Here's one dancing. Go.
And who was like the hipster girl? Do you remember the hipster girl's name?
No.
Peppermint Patty.
Oh, Peppermint Patty. Yeah, I remember her.
What was Charlie Brown's sister's name?
Don't know.
I don't know. It's been forever since I've seen the show.
Grumpy,
Now, hold on. Can you imitate how the teachers talked in the show?
God
damn it.
He
Dude,
couldn't
seriously.
do it. He doesn't even know the teacher. What
Yes,
was
I know how to
Charlie-
get
what was
along.
What was Charlie Brown's teacher's name, TJ?
I don't
I
know.
couldn't even answer that one. I at least knew how the teacher talked, though.
Oh God, come on, Grumpy.
Oh, Jesus. Okay. Frankie G
think-
says everyone was saying Wembley sucked after his.
Wembenyama.
Oh, okay.
Woodstock is the Tweety bird. Woodstock, Sally.
Yeah, no, he looked that up. He looked that.
Arkle, Pigpen. I know, just got all kind of Lucy. All this just came back to me.
Lucy Van Pelt
Was the one who would pull the football away from him.
Zoop, and he'd fall right to the ground. Swing and a miss.
Wemby sucked after his first summer league game. I know that's a big difference, but everyone chill out. He's a defensive player. He sucks.
I guess
he's 6'4". The other guy's what, 7'4" is difference.
I'm not saying he's good, but we can't overreact on one game. I guess the reason we're quote unquote overreacting to this is he's following his college performance based on averages. He averaged 4 points a game in college, and that's what he averaged in his first game in the NBA.
If he wasn't LeBron James's kid,
he wouldn't have been drafted.
He never would have left college. He'd probably be an accounting major or something like that.
I don't know what he'd be doing, but it wouldn't be that. Maybe he would be like with his agent selling retro jerseys out of his car. Who knows? I still cannot believe that story until we read it, that he just was like hustling, selling, retro jerseys out of his car, and he became the agent of LeBron James. You talk about a crazy coincidence.
Frankie G says, who do you think will be the starting lineup for the USA Olympic team basketball? Either Jason Tatum or Anthony Edwards will not start. Got to start Tatum, right?
Tatum, he just won the NBA Finals.
Got to start Tatum. It doesn't matter.
Plus, Anthony Edwards said at the end of the season that he was out of shape. He was not ready. He said that's literally what he said. He's like, I was exhausted. He's like, I was not physically in shape enough. So I don't think that they're going to play him, start him. I think it's going to be Jason Tatum who starts.
He looked out of gas at the end of that.
He even admitted it.
Yeah.
He said, I was out of gas at the end. He said that in the offseason, he's definitely going to train a lot harder, which honestly is like, I mean, I kind of understand it. He kind of trains, how he usually does. And he didn't realize because he'd never played that far into the postseason. And, he kind of got that experience now. So I think he'll come back better.
Grump.
Where is Jude's natural position? Jeez, that's a tough one, isn't it, X?
He's a cam to a center forward. That's his position.
Yep. Yeah, but he needs to play more center mid with Rice for England. Has more space to operate since Foden, Saka, and Palmer always come in.
None of them can do anything when it comes to scoring.
Yeah, I tell you, the guy I'm really disappointed in. I know Saka. Didn't Saka score the goal for them?
Saka scored one goal this tournament.
That was a nice shot. Phil Foden's been disappointing.
Awful.
The problem they have, and I mentioned this being an issue earlier.
It's a coach.
The coach blows, and then their striker, just like Cristiano, doesn't fit what Portugal is or what they could be with speed, counter striking type of team. He's more of a target man up front who's able to hold defenders back, and he's able to go ahead and head the ball in. That's what he is. The same way Kane is. They're not fit to be on those type of teams.
Kane's been playing too deep. He's been playing too deep.
Even when they're getting him the ball in the box, he fucks it up.
Yeah, I know. Okay, I'm not a big Kane guy, but I'll tell you what, he's a team guy. I think it's all on Southgate. Believe me, he has to be. They have to telling him, "Hey, Harry, we want you playing deeper." I don't understand. As a striker, he needs to be up top. I'll tell you what, Jude has impressed me just with some of his individual skills, which I think have improved even from when his first year at Real. He's only 20. Is he only 20, right? I mean, he's just going to get better.
Yep.
And I just worry about him injuries.
How about there, Grump?
JP says, Gross and Rossner, I don't trust. When did Friedman say this? Please show me.
Okay, JP, it was reported by Elliot Freeman that Rosner and Gross and several others, Lou wouldn't consider trading Pajot then. I think how this summer would have been with the cap. Well, yeah, he said at the deadline he wasn't considering trading Pajot.
Right.
So, Freedom Fund Adventure Grump.
Florida Gator basketball has the world's tallest teenager joining the team this year as a freshman, 7'9". He needs development, but crazy watching his video.
He can actually move pretty well, which is kind of wild.
How much does he weigh?
He's thin. He's
Okay,
definitely thin.
That's the problem with the thin guys.
Okay,
Man, you can
Victor
really
Wembanyama is thin as hell too.
Okay,
and he won Rookie of the Year.
Okay, but the vast majority are Reed freaking thin.
Yes, aka Chet Holmgren, aka all of these guys.
Chet Holmgren was really good. He was up for Rookie of the Year this year because he got injured his first year.
Because he's built like a freaking bird. He's built like a stork.
Yeah, but the thing is, they're playing well. It's not like they're playing like crap. The game has revolutionized where there really, if you think about it, is no big man anymore. Everything's all perimeter.
All right, too good, Grump.
There is not a doubt in my mind that TJ has been brushing up on his Yiddish and is going to ace this latest test. Number 1, TJ, what is that?
Kutzpah.
Wrong. Chutzpah. Chutzpah. You wrong again. Number 2.
Tukas.
Tukas, that's good. And number 3.
Schlemiel.
There you go. It only took him a year and a half to get Schlemiel right.
I am now an honorary Jewish member. I could speak Yiddish just as well as the next man.
Frankie G says the starting 5: Curry, LeBron, Durant, Jason Tatum, and Embiid. That wouldn't be my starting 5. I'd incorporate starting 5 in there. That's an old ass starting 5.
Wait, what would be your starting 5?
It wouldn't be those 5.
Who would it be?
I don't even know everybody on the team, to be honest with you.
God, that is an old ass starting.
That's an old ass starting 5.
Curry, what is he? Mid 30s. LeBron is late 30s. KD is late 30s. Jason Tatum is early 20s.
Okay, they tried to roll the young kids out there and they lost. So
you can. How about just mixing them in a little bit?
Yeah, you don't need 3 guys.
A lot of alphas out there. A lot of alphas.
Yep.
LeBron's really not anymore. He's always mostly a pass guy, but I mean, a lot of alphas out there.
Nice having you.
Alex says, does soccer clubs have the final say on if a player can compete in the player's respective country and international tournaments?
Yes.
They do. Shouldn't the player or the player's agent have some say in that? BS to him. Well, here's the thing. They're getting paid by their club teams.
Correct.
Like, I know Mbappe wanted to play for France in the Olympics, and Real said, absolutely not. Why? Because they're having the really big teams, when they go on these international tours, it's all about growing their brand and making money.
Well, okay. Here's the thing that's important, worth taking into account as well. It's almost like, with NFL contracts, right? Like they say, oh, we don't want you skateboarding. We don't want you doing this. We don't want you doing that. They'll have those provisions written in. And it's the same thing like, hey, we can control if you're going to compete in any sort of outside activity outside of your contract, we can approve or disapprove. You go, Al.
He says, for me, Jude has always played better international than he does for club. He even looked decent at left mid. I don't think you can say he's ever looked better than he did at Real this year.
He won Player of the Year for La Liga and could potentially be winning Ballon d'Or this year.
He was this. I didn't realize he was this good. I didn't question the signing because I never saw him. I never watched Dortmund play when he was there. But X told me that he was really, really good. I said, I'm going to wait and see. And he was really good. But he absolutely ran out of gas at the end of the year. Absolutely did. But he's a kid.
Yep.
All right. We got a few comments here left. I'm exhausted, boys. We're going to wrap things up here today. But Frankie G says, then who, Grumpy? Who do you want?
I don't know the rest of the players on the team. I would absolutely do a mix and match thing, though. Have A team, B team, rotate them in. Frankie also says they will definitely be starting Curry, KD, and LeBron. It's their last Olympics. Curry is still better than Booker. Okay. All right. That's fine. I mean, but, man, Devin Booker's pretty good. Freedom Front Bench says, TJ, all 3 of you are on-air personalities now. Sex sells. Don't you think it's all your job to be in shape? Grow your female audience. Get sponsorships from Vitamin Shop, etc.
I don't care about growing our audience like that.
TJ, what a failure.
That's me.
Here goes Alex. Actual U.S. starting lineup. Here we go. That's fine. Steph, Anthony Edwards, or Devin Booker, Kevin Durant, LeBron James, Anthony Davis. I mean, that's
start for Davis, and here's Al Grumpy.
Bryce Young plays basketball at a local YMCA in Charlotte. Panthers let him do that? I guess so.
Bryce Young belongs.
Here's the thing, though. He's playing a pickup game of basketball at the YMCA. That would be like the soccer players playing a pickup game in their backyard for shits and giggles. It's not like it's an organized game where they're out there busting their asses playing 100%.
Okay.
Well, let's wrap this up here today. Grumpy X, what do you want to say before we end today's show?
I want to say love and laughter to everyone who listens and even those who don't. From TJ, the grumpy old man, and Son X.
Son X, what do you want to say before we wrap things up here today?
I want to thank everybody for coming out and listening. As always, love the interactions in the comment section as always, and we will see you guys next time.
Thank you so much, everybody, for listening to the show. Thank you, Grumpy. Thank you, Son X. Thanks for all the comments and engagement as well. Is there something you want to say? Oh, no show next Sunday.
There you go.
No or maybe a show next Sunday. I don't know. Definitely no show next Saturday. That's for certain.
Okay.
Yep, we touched on this earlier in the show, and yes, the Giants are in trouble. We agree. Yep.
We didn't even talk about the hard knocks with the Giants.
Hasn't even played a single snap yet or reported the practice yet, and he's over there going to strip club.
Well, it's about their off season.
Shows you where the priorities are, baby.
Yeah.
Yep. Let's wrap things up. Thanks so much there, guys. Thank you, Grumpy. Thanks, X. Be with you guys next time.
Next time.